The Detroit Lions have announced their roster moves versus the Houston Texans, and the injury report is here as well. And of course, the injury report came out yesterday. We'll be going over that like we always do as well. But the injury or the roster moves we made, all I have to say is, wow, we made a lot of roster moves. First, let's go over the injury report like we always do. Injury report versus the Texans: Taylor Decker out, shoulder. I already mentioned that in my Lions Watch video that's coming out later today. Broderick Martin, knee out. He has not been activated yet from injured reserve. Jalen Reeves Maybin, neck out. You'll see in a minute what's going on with him. Afatu Malafanu, ankle out. He has not been activated yet either from IR. Emmanuel Mosley, pectoral out. He has not as well been activated from injured reserve. Malcolm Rodriguez, ankle out. We knew that. And Zadarius Smith, personal / has not been in the building for long enough, questionable, but most likely going to play. So that's the injury report. It's very long. Taylor Decker's a bit concerning. So with Malcolm Rodriguez and Jalen Reeves Maybin, those are essentially the only three players that are out. Martin, Mosley, and Melifano. Not really worrying about those because those guys haven't even been activated from IR yet, so I don't even know why they're on this injury report. But that's the injury report, and here's what I mean by the Jalen Reeves Maybin news and the roster moves. The Lions announced roster moves. Waived defensive lineman Isaiah Thomas. Safe to say the experiment with Isaiah Thomas did not work out, and apparently Brad agrees with me that the guy is not very good. Placed linebacker Jalen Reeves Maybin on reserve injured, potentially out for the season, it sounds like. As we're already heading into week 10, he'll be out for 4 weeks. There's a chance he is out for the rest of the season, unfortunately. Signed tight end Shane Zilsha, linebacker Abraham Beauplan, and defensive lineman Al Quadin Muhammad to the 53-man roster from the practice squad. Really like that. All those moves I really like. Beauplan needed to be signed after Germ got placed on IR. Zilstra, he had no more elevation, so I expected that. And I'm glad to see Muhammad's on the 53-man roster now, as he's been playing very well with the 2 games he's been as a Lion. An elevated linebacker Ezekiel Turner and offensive tackle Jamarco Jones from the practice squad to the active-inactive list. I actually predicted Jamarco Jones to be elevated in my Lions Watch. I'm sure a lot of Lions fans did as well. In my opinion, it's going to be between Dan Skipper or Jamarco Jones starting on the left or right side versus the Houston Texans. I doubt it's Colby just because he hasn't really had that. He hasn't played good at tackle in the preseason or in the little bit he's had to play versus the Falcons last year in the regular season. And just a guard throughout the season last year as well. And Giovanni Minu, I doubt will play it all this season. So it'll be between, in my opinion, Marco Jones because of the veteran. He's always been tackle. He's drafted as a tackle, former 6th-round pick. He's been in this league for a long time. For him to start tackle or Dan Skipper to make his Lions debut at tackle. He started first at guard before, but I do not believe he's ever started a game at tackle for the Detroit Lions. It'll probably be Dan Skipper starting, but I could also see Jamarco Jones. And Ezekiel Turner, we just signed him a couple of days ago, being elevated. Expected that once I saw Jerm got placed on IR. So Beauplan will replace Jalen Reeves Maybin for this game, and then Ezekiel Turner will replace Malcolm Rodriguez for this game. Beauplan will probably see a decent amount on defense for this upcoming game to replace Malcolm Rodriguez and Jerm, and then Ezekiel Turner will probably just be a special teams guy for this week, with potentially making his way up to the 53-man roster if he plays well and gets to know the system a little bit more next week. So that's the roster move. That's a lot of rosters move, but once again, the Isaiah Thomas experiment, safe to say, that did not work. It did not work. With the 2 or 3 games as a Lion that I watched his tape and just watched the game in general, he did not look very good whatsoever. It looked like he could not get through one block. Now, every player does have to be waived now. So Isaiah Thomas, if it clears waivers, will most likely return to the practice squad. But I could see the Browns poaching him, or not poaching him, but putting a waiver claim in for him to get him back because they lost 2 defensive ends now to the Lions, Isaiah Thomas and Zadarius Smith. So I could see the Browns putting in a waiver claim and retaining Isaiah Thomas. So I'd not be shocked if he is no longer a short line, period. And I'd be fine with it, not going to lie. He did not look very good whatsoever. But the Lions have no more roster spots open on the 53-man roster. We already had 1 spot open, but Isaiah Thomas being waived and Jalen Reeves maybe getting placed on IR open 2 more. And then Zilstra, Beauplan, and Muhammad being signed took all those spots. We now have 3 spots open on the practice squad now, so that'll be very interesting. We'll probably sign another linebacker to the practice squad. I'm going to make a video about a guy, it probably will come out tomorrow before the game, about a guy that I think could be returning to the Lions. I think you guys are going to like that video. And we'll probably see another defensive end if Thomas does not get brought back to the practice squad. And then I could also see Parker Hess being brought back as well. So Leave your thoughts, comments down below on Pride Go Lions. How do you feel about these roster moves? Who do you think will start to tackle for the Lions? Do you agree with waiving Isaiah Thomas? Leave your thoughts, comments down below on Pride Go Lions. This is a big game for the Lions. Let's see if we can do it. One Pride Go Lions.